Plants vs. Zombies. What a classic. One of my favorite games that I used to play on my Nintendo DS, as it was one of the many consoles the game was released on. Besides Lego Batman and New Super Mario Bros., I like to pop this game in every now and again, because it was just a blast to play through. And I'm glad to be playing it now. PopCap. The legends themselves. Rest in peace, old PopCap. You served us well. And your game was awesome. Now we get on to our first day in Naperville, as this is canonically called. And we place our first Peashooter. The Peashooter is just that, a Peashooter. It can shoot from a range and will automatically target the first zombie in line, damaging it until it's defeated. Of course, it can only target one lane, and that's the lane that it's shown in front of it. This will damage the opponent's zombies and cause their head to pop off in a very cartoonish way, as this is just the cartoonish style of this game. As you can see, day one is quite short, as not many zombies show up, and with 3 Peashooters in one lane, it's very easy and makes a good starter. And right here, we get the sunflower, and on to the next level. Now we get 3 lanes. Not the stable 5 yet, but we're getting there. Now we have access to the sunflower plant, which will also gather sun and produce it into a special ball, which usually comes from the sky, but we can concentrate it and bring it down into the sunflowers, doubling our sunflower speed. Sun collection speed, allowing us to plant more plants more quickly. As you can see, I was able to collect over 50 extra sun without spending too much. And now I can already afford another, with an extra 50 backing me up for another to fill out the lanes. With a good defense, which we'll get to later, you can easily defend your lanes and would rarely have to switch out items other than the occasional Walnut that finally gets defeated. These little guys are your best line of defense as of now, but we'll get to that bridge soon enough. So for now, we deal with this. It's not much, but it's what we got here, and it'll allow me to talk about Plants vs. Zombies in a little more specifically. After their very special game that boosted PopCap, PopCap decided to make a sequel to their very classic game. It was a fishing game, and its sequel was originally designed for the Nintendo DS. Over time, the game was revamped in different ways, and it turned into something new entirely, which was this. And hey, here's our cherry bomb. Our first very expensive and very powerful plant. It blows up a good chunk of our zombies in one area, though it does cost 150 sun to detonate. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The game was eventually ported to a lot of systems, including Xbox, PlayStation, computer, a bunch of other systems, oddly not the Wii, but also including the DS, which was the original plan for the sequel, which is where Plants vs. Zombies originated. So I find it rather fitting that PvZ got their chance on the Nintendo DS. And thanks to that, I was able to get this game and have some fun with it. Because this series was very, very fun. I would bring it along on car trips and beg to God that my battery didn't die, as sometimes I would forget the charger and I wouldn't be able to play for long, though DSs usually have godlike batteries, so they usually last long enough. Then we go home, and then we continue to play. Of course, this is one of my favorite games of all time, and is what really started my love for puzzle games and tower defenses in general. They've always been my favorite. And this is a simplified version of the tower defense genre, a gateway into a very loved series. Eventually, with this game, there were comics, 2 sequels, a card game that was originally planned, and then a mobile phone game. The port first, though, which did include ads, as eventually, yes, sadly, PopCap was bought out by EA, meaning everything must have had to include a microtransaction, meaning that, of course, we had a bunch of ads. With those ads, we would be stuck with an absolute hell especially for the more newbie players. Anyways, here is our next plant. This is the Walnut. It blocks off zombies and protects your other plants. And now we have the full lanes. So let's see how we get through this. Of course, we gotta play our plant, our main plant, of course, the sunflower, so we can start getting money. Well, not money, sun. Of course, sun is the main thing, and we needed to buy the first Peashooter. Of course, some people may think this gets repetitive, and yeah, I can see that. But for the more patient players, of course they'd want more. This is why endless mode in this game is so popular. I would love to play this game just endlessly in one single strain and just never have to stop. Because this game is awesome, and I like that it keeps us on our feet. Always introducing new things when things get a little too easy for us and we understand it a little too much. Of course, they don't make it godly impossible, but it does get rather difficult and requires some proper planning, especially when it comes to the later areas, like night and the rooftop, especially the pool. And here we have our first cone zombie. cone zombies take a lot more damage than normal zombies, and will usually take about a Peashooter, and will need more than just a Peashooter to defeat. Usually either a Walnut or an extra Peashooter. And here I use the Walnut, which does stay here for the entirety of the lane. Even after the final wave, it still stands, which is odd. But, it is what it is. And at least it protected the lane from cone zombies. And as you can see, even with one Peashooter, as long as it's only the one cone zombie in that lane, it shouldn't be that hard to defend from. Sure, the Peashooter takes a little bit of damage, but it's nothing to worry about. Now, I don't remember a lot to say about this game, but I've always loved it, and I figured dubbing over it, giving you a little bit of commentary to watch as you watch my little bits of gameplay would be a bit fun, and a change for what I've been giving you guys. I hope this is a nice change of pace, and I hope you guys would like to see more. Of course, we're only about halfway through this video, so I better keep this going. Of course, we're about to hit our final wave as soon as that cone falls off that guy's head. And 2, 1. And here we go. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Here we go. And here starts the final wave, which somehow the Walnut survives the entirety of. I found that neat. A bit odd, but it is what it is, and it's better than just placing a Peashooter ahead of it. That would be counterintuitive if I say so myself. And here we get the spade, which can be used, or the spade, or the shovel, as we call it in the Filthy West. So we can start our first minigame, introducing Crazy Dave, one of the first and only human characters that we see in this game. The rest are zombies, or plants, or robots. So, again, it is what it is. We take the shovel, destroy the plants, and goody. Now we're going bowling. Walnut bowling is one of the most fun games you can play. And luckily, through the Minigames menu, you can play this over and over again in different modes, including night. I don't think pool, so that might be a possibility. It may be just on the main field, but I'm not sure. As you can see, I'm sort of just spamming the walnuts everywhere. I really haven't played this in a while, so I'm a little rusty. Though I know the basic mechanics and how most of the stuff works, especially in the early run. So it's not like I'm gonna have much issue with this game. As you can see, I'm trying to build up at least a little bit so I can kill off these zombies, these conehead zombies, before I get to the main bozos. Now, get those two, knock the cone off that one, kill it, and here's it now. another cherry bomb walnut, which will cause anyone in a certain area to get blown up like a cherry bomb, hence the name, cherry bomb walnut. Though I do not know if that's the official name, that's what I've always called it, as that's basically what it is. A cherry bomb walnut. Anyway, we get through our first mini wave, which we'll need this first wave for. And now we'll need the cherry bomb walnut. Get these out of the way. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I use a cherry bomb walnut here. And, oh god, I completely missed everything. I feel absolutely stupid for that. Well, at least I still got a spare, and I use that right there. So, I can just use those two to knock off the cones of that one. Get that one, and all I have is the 2 zombies left. And soon I'll be free and able to go to the next level, in which I get the potato mine, which I believe is one of the most strategic for the next zombie ahead. And I would definitely recommend picking this up and using it most of your waves if a pole launcher zombie appears in one of these levels. Yes, it does seem a little arbitrary, but if you put it behind a walnut, it has a bit of protection, and with the pole vault zombies, they can easily blow them up if they get over the walnut fence, which usually is set up by the later setting. And as the game goes on, you get quicker with everything, and soon you're able to get everything down. Of course, you can't really cover everything at once within a few seconds, as it takes at least a little bit. As you can see, I'm still setting up my sunflowers. Now, I've seen other players plant a lot more, in like 10 of them for some reason, but I usually stick with 5, and that usually ends up pretty fine. I get it, more sun equals quicker setup for our defense, but I don't really see the charm to it. It's just less space. It just means less space for all the defensive plants that you need, which usually don't take that long to charge, let alone get the sun for. Except in later levels, maybe, but that's a completely situation, as it would take forever just to get a few sunflowers down itself. Alright. We're about to end off that last zombie, and we hit another cone head. So I need to slowly build up a little bit of sun so I can make sure that I have everything and a little extra, so in case something shows up, I can cover for it. Like that. That right there is a pole vaulting zombie, and a potato man works as amazing pole fodder, as well as walnuts, but those are much more expensive and take a lot more of your time. So I definitely recommend just placing something down, so unlike what I do here, I, for some reason, let myself get my Peashooter get down, so I have to do the dumbest thing in the whole wide world and use a cherry bomb. Yeah, that's embarrassing. But either way, I'm able to get through this day rather fine, just a little bit of a setback. Sun-wise, that is. Of course, we get our first Spadao, meaning I got the Spadao achievement. Of course, there's a ton of achievements that you can get in this game, including some other console exclusives, including the DS, which is a rather fun one. I would definitely recommend picking up multiple versions of PvZ just to get the different achievements if you're a completionist. Yeah, Gerard. I get Gerard was already having his hands full with just one version of the game, so I get it if he didn't pick up another version. And right here we get the Snow Pea. The Snow Pea is basically a normal pea shooter, but it chucks frozen peas. Of course, I forgot to. Fuck. Anyways, we end up grabbing the Snow Pea, and we can use that in combat. I'll show you what that does in a little bit, but now we just gotta wait through this, and we'll soon get to the real meat and potatoes of this. Of course, we gotta sit through our first arbitrary, we're just warming up phase of the game. We barely got any sun to our name, and we only have like 2 sunflowers, while they're sending on just 1 zombie. The most we can worry about here is if a conehead spawns, as we don't have many sunflowers, meaning not that much sun, meaning we don't have that much coverage, meaning we'll have to sacrifice a lawnmower, which is not really in our itinerary here. We honestly want to keep our lawnmowers maxed. If we lose one of these, it just doesn't look good, and it really sets off my OCD. If it isn't there, it just drives me crazy, or I have to get rid of another for symmetry reasons. Yeah, I hate it too, but I like to keep my lawn as clean as possible. At least in game. In real life, that's a completely different story. Anyway, we encounter a conehead, but now we have enough for a Snow Pea. Of course, this sets off slowness, slowing the zombie down to a standstill. Every time the Snow Pea hits it, the clock resets, as everyone gets a little bit slower when hit by it, meaning conehead zombies are a breeze to get through. Are an absolute breeze to get through, and we can knock out conehead zombies with little issue. Of course, we're not encounter that many, but it's really whatever. So we just pop off what's left and pray to God there aren't that many pole vault zombies, or else it's just gonna make things a little bit uncomfortable for us. Not that we can't handle, but we just hope they don't pop up in those back lanes, as that could spell doom for our run. Pole vaulting above the sunflower and ruining symmetry and driving me cuckoo. Of course, luckily, one of the pole vault zombies appears in that lane. It pole vaults over the potato mine just as it starts to sprout. Now that potato mine lasts a while. Trust me, it lasts a while through this. Of course, we're lucky enough to have our lanes fully covered now, and as you can see, I'm starting to pile up on potato mines, specifically in the back row. As I mentioned, I'll be using the strategy from before, as I'll start putting down walnuts. It's a bit extra, but you can never be too safe. If things get cluttered, it's going to spell doom for a run, and everyone's just gonna pulvel over potato mines, and the ones that don't are just gonna detonate it, and will have nothing to stop it. Luckily, this is an earlier level, but it's better safe than sorry, if you ask me. So we just get through the day as I slowly build up all the potato mines and walnuts. Of course, somehow that potato mine is still alive, and will be for a good majority of this level. You'd think that cone zombie would one of the zombies would probably knock it down somehow, but it doesn't. It actually doesn't. Just by sheer luck, it slowdowns just enough. Eventually, I'm pretty sure one of the zombies does set it off, but at least those lanes are covered by then, and we have just enough to be ready for the next wave. We have multiple potato mines ready in case Polvol zombies somehow get through. And we just need the potato mine in the walnut to recharge so we can place them down. And then we'll be completely secure for the final wave. As I place the final walnut, I no longer need any form of security, as I can just wait it out and pick up some extra sun. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I get up to 1,000 here. And then we start the final wave. I'm pretty sure I placed down a cherry bomb here, but I honestly do not recall. Yeah, the potato mine dies here. I mean, yeah, that's for sure. Now we just wait. And you'd think that zombie would finally kill it. But you're wrong. Could it be that next zombie? Maybe. This thing lost the entire run, now didn't it? Holy crap. And this is where we get our final plan for this episode. And it is the chopper. It devours zombies whole, allowing us to add to our layer of defense. Sadly, this is where the episode ends. It was fun making this episode, and though it did not take that much time, recording was a pain in the butt. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.